Olá, boa tarde a todos. Eu irei apresentar o livro de inglês Robin Hood, da disciplina Expressão Oral e Escrita nível avançado de inglês, da docente profa doutora Laíra de Cássia Barros Maldané. E eu, que sou a aluna, Cleudiane Santos Rodrigues. Iniciarei o resumo com o capítulo 1 e 2 deste livro, Hob of Loch Astley. Robin Hood was born in the small town of Locksley, in the Nottinghamshire. Hobb's father owned a small farm that did have much land. Life was very difficult sometimes. The family was not always poor. Hobb's grandfather had been a knight and owned many lands around Locksley, but the sheriff of Nottingham to the land because Hobb's grandfather couldn't pay sheriff's high taxes. Hobby worked on father farm every day. Hobby enjoyed practice archery on his father's farm and had become excellent once Hobby ended up falling in love with daughter of a knight named Mariam. Robin Hood becomes an outlaw when he decides to go to the archery competition. In the Nottingham and on the road, he meets some men in the woods, eats and drinks. They argued for sheriff and made fun of Robin Hood. So he killed a deer and ended up killing a man who has cause of the sheriff, and so he becomes an outlaw. As Robin Hood was at large, he went in hid in Sherwood Forest, and there he found other men who were outlaws. Some had killed soldiers, others had not paid the king's tax, and the rabbi searched for, so they had the idea of looking for a new home into the forest and come up with the idea of stealing for the king and help the poor, Roman treated and honest men. Robin Hood decides to hawk through the forest and finds a tall, strong man, and both want to go over the some bridge. Only on the man could only pass, and so called that road pass was best, so they called to fight. The men took down Robin Hood in the rive and described, and the Robin Hood called the other men, and the men joined the and called light down. The men who called tax decided to decide the silver stories Robin Hood not to be stolen was they were good crumbs. That's the king asked from the population, so they distributed themselves amongst. But who Sod's hay was very friend and the Robin Hood. He managed to hide Robin Hood for a Kyle, and Robin Hood's group managed to get his tax. In the chapter 8 talks about the recall of Will Stanley, where Robin Hood and the best kidnap the takes the two forest and ties him up. The sheriff is looking for him, and the ring finds they to free, but they are stolen. So John opens the way to Will, and the sheriff manages to escape, and the robber and bandits plan to head into roads so sheriff doesn't bother them. In Chapter 9, Rob and John were walking through the forest, and John saw a man walking in Sherwood Forest and asked him to pay the tax to do for the place, and the boy says he has no money and he will find in the tree anything and straight to find, and they saw that he was good, and they asked how he learned to find. The king was furious, and the sheriff proposed about raw context to get to kill Robin Hood, so he distinguished himself was bigger, and they could kill him, and who the constant winning a prize. The saint learned to sheriff, and they celebrated with other men in your group. The captain team, Robbie and John went hooting and they looked for a mile in the same direction, and they wanted to restore his flow, and he said he has poor man, and he threw flow in their face, and they were blind for a few seconds, and the miller asked a lot forgiveness, and asked to join the group, and Elson becoming a thief. The Cat 11, Alan takes about daily how wanted to marry a girl, but his father ordered him because Alan is poor man, and Alan's father has debt to Sristos Alice doesn't love. Harvey struggles the provenance one, the tell stories, and after Gina seeks to rob and fight bandits. In the chapter 12 is a continuation of the story of Alan and Ellen, and that Robin wants to find a way for them to get married. They plan to start their own day of the reading with the old man, and one day of reading they arrive and stop Ellen from getting married, and the money for him to pay the lord that Ellen has going to marry. The Ellen and Alan married in the forest. The Captain 13 is a continuation, and Ellen's father wants to marry a knight. After they decide they make Ellen's with part with Alan, and then Bishop knew he had no choice. He went to the forest too. And he was having drink with the bad girls. In the chapter 14, Sir Richard destroys the callous, and Abel wants the money, and Richard wants if he will leave him with nothing, and that he is servant to the king, and Abel makes a proposal for him to keep the land. Robin Hood a terrible dream that railroad be captured and lied. John said if it would really happen, but they couldn't kill Robin Hood and light John. Just gentlemen who part of the exercise of the king and other men. Robin Hood's father dies, and he keeps his land. Alan and Ellen travel across the country and sing songs. King Richard returns to England and changes many rules. It prevents the sheriff from collecting taxes. Finish.